There's a problem with unlicensed daycare in Canada. There's two things I wanted to talk about. And it was brought up from a news story from CBC. And in this story, it was very tragic that a little boy died in an unlicensed daycare. The woman took him somewhere where there was a pool, and she didn't watch. And children can drown very quickly, under 2 minutes, I believe. It's very tragic. Mostly the issue I wanted to talk about was the next story. A reporter had a hidden camera and went into a unlicensed daycare. And the issue I have with this, the problem, is that this person was just criticized. And it was not considered, well, how is she with the children? Obviously, parents felt good about her. There was lots of kids that she was looking after all day. It's a very hard job. It's a lonely job. Why aren't these parents looking after their own children? You know, she looked tired. There was nothing wrong with her home. It was messy, but messy for kids is kind of cozy and comfortable. Now, I'm not talking about all the details of her competency. I don't know. I could see, though, many families bring their child to this woman. And there was great concern, fine, that the basement where they were having a nap didn't have a fire escape. Okay, fair enough. Or windows. I don't know that the windows matter that much. But a fire escape. Fair enough. Instead of criticizing her, why don't the solution offer assistance and support in common sense? What does she need? Money. A new facility. She doesn't need a couple $100. She needs a new facility. Or several $1,000s to do a decent renovation on her home. Many people are bringing their children to her. I'm going to guess she's good with kids. That's a hard job. These are little kids. You try it. Spending all day. A whole bunch of kids. So how about some help? How much does it cost to get licensed? Perhaps she could use some assistance with that as well. And the facility. So, instead of just beating the woman down. The other issue, though, is why aren't the families raising their children? So, again, here's another solution. And the solution I'm going to present is called equal money capitalism. So we have now capitalism under the supposed democracy in Canada. That is not working very well. And as a quick aside, I'm going to include a link in which a girl who's 12 years old, Victoria, I'm sorry I don't remember her last name, talks about the debt that the Canadian government pays interest on and comes up with the numbers and some solutions. Anyway, it's incredible. So within a equal money capital system, people who have children will be responsible to raise those children. Why do you want to have children if you don't want to raise your children? I don't really get that. Except often, in most cases, the reason the parents aren't staying home and raising the children is because they can't afford to. So largely I would say it's because they can't afford to. Now, if you know that you're going to be staying home with these kids, you're going to think twice about it. So in equal money capitalism, we would have education, really practical education, which we talk about things that are living lessons that are huge, about credit cards. But again, back to my subject, about raising kids, about what it's really like to raise kids. It's hard. It's lonely. So if you're going to have the children, you really think that through. I did stay home and raise my kids. And I'm glad. I wouldn't have missed it for the cost. It was wonderful. And time goes by. So yeah, in an equal money capitalist system, if you're going to have children, you have to think really hard about it because you're going to stay home and raise your kids. Now you will be supported greatly, and so in that system, the government, which would be a democracy in which we all participate, one man, one vote, would truly provide the capital for the population so that young family who have children, they know, and in their decision making, they know, okay, well, at home, we can afford this home. We can pay the bills. We can pay the mortgage. I don't even know if we'll have mortgage. It won't really be ownership in the way that as we know it now. But it would be your home. It would be your home. And you would still earn the same income, so that you are able to pay all your bills, to buy food, clothing, all your basic needs met, and that would include things like having the internet, etc. So all your basic needs would be met. There was one other news item in on the CBC this week, which concerned me, which I just want to touch on really briefly. And that was that the Canadian government's going to be auditing welfare recipients. And on one hand, I think that's fine. You don't want people who are able to work and contribute to defraud the government and take money that could be going to someone else. However, I would say that most people who receive welfare are poor. Why they receive the welfare. So kind of a non-issue, really. In an equal money capital system, there would be no requirement for welfare. In fact, the system would be based on the welfare of each person in the world, within the country, in the city, and within the home. The well-being and the quality of life. So please investigate EqualMoney.org for a new way of life.